The Digital Silk Road, Sabotage, and the Dollars Fall. Imagine for a moment that the screen you are looking at right now goes black. Not just your screen, but every screen in your city, your country, and across the globe. We aren't talking about a power outage. We are talking about a total digital severance. 97% of all global data, every bank transfer, every stock trade, and every diplomatic message travels through a network of glass fibers and no thicker than a garden hose, resting on the dark floor of our oceans. Lately, the headlines have been dominated by the Red Sea, by the cargo ships, and by the axis of resistance. But there is a deeper war beneath the waves. It's no longer just about oil or ships. It's about the silicone choke points that hold the modern world together. Today we are diving into a reality that few are prepared for. How the physical sabotage of subsea cables is being used as a weapon to bypass the Western financial system and accelerate the fall of the US dollar. This isn't just a security risk, it is the birth of the digital Silk Road. The physical vulnerability. To understand the threat, we have to look at the map. If you look at the Bab el Mandeb Strait, you see one of the most congested maritime corridors in the world. But beneath those waters lies the Silicon Choke Point. This narrow passage is the primary gateway for data flowing between Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Hundreds of terabytes of data pulses through this single point every second. And here is the terrifying reality. This infrastructure is incredibly fragile. We have already seen how non state actors and regional powers can disrupt global trade with relatively low tech means. Sabotaging the subsea cable doesn't require a nuclear submarine in shallow waters. A dragging anchor or a specialized diving team is all it takes to cause billions of dollars in economic damage. As we analyze in our previous coverage of the Red Sea conflict, the cables are the new front lines. When a cable is cut, it isn't just a localized internet outage. It is a strategic strike against the speed of the Western economy. In a world where milliseconds determines the profit of a trade, cutting the cord is an act of war. The economic endgame, bypassing the dollar. But why target cables? To find the answer, we have to look at the digital Silk Road. While the West focuses on protecting existing routes, China and its partners are busy building their own. For decades, the US dollar has maintained its dominance not just through gold or oil, but through the architecture of the global finance, specifically the SWIFT system. The system runs on Western controlled digital infrastructure. If you control the pipe, you control the flow. You can enforce sanctions, monitor transactions, and ensure the dollar remains a global medium of exchange. The digital Silk Road is the ultimate workaround. By building new undersea and terrestrial data routes that bypass Western choke points, BRIC nations are creating a parallel digital universe. This is the true heart of de-dollarization. If a coalition of nations can trade in their own local currencies, using their own digital architecture and their own encrypted cables, the U.S. loses its most powerful tool of economic leverage. The sabotage we see today in the Red Sea isn't just chaos. It is a catalyst, forcing the world to choose between a vulnerable Western network and a new, emerging Eastern alternative. The 72-hour collapse. So, what does this look like for the average person? In our previous analysis, we discussed the 72-hour collapse scenario. If the silicone choke points are severed, the digital petrodollar evaporates almost instantly. Within the first few hours, stock markets would freeze because the high-frequency trading algorithms can't communicate. Credit card processing would fail. The global supply chain, which relies on real-time data to move goods, would grind to a halt. This is where the shift becomes permanent. In the vacuum of a digital blackout, the nations that have invested in redundant, independent infrastructure like the digital Silk Road will be the only ones left standing. The winner of the next global conflict won't be the nation with the most gold in its vaults. It will be the one that controls the switch to the global data flow. To conclude this presentation, we are witnessing a fundamental transformation in how power is projected. Infrastructure is no longer just the background of our lives. It is the primary weapon in an ongoing economic war. The silicone choke point is real, and the stakes have never been higher. I want to hear from you. As these new trade corridors and the data routes emerge, do you think the U.S. can successfully protect it against its digital dominance? Or is the shift to digital Silk Road and the subsequent fall of the dollar now inevitable? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be jumping in to join the debate. If you found this analysis valuable, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are tracking these geopolitical shifts every week, and you don't want to miss our next deep dive in the collapse of the old order. I'm Ro for the Real Shift, asking you to roll with me. And please like, subscribe, and share this video to get it to as many people as possible so this information get to us, to the rest of the world. We appreciate you and thank you for your time.